We're going to start off again on Bitcoin like we always do. As I said, fade the pump, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's just going to be a lower high. It looks like it was a lower high. We rejected the key level.
I got to make money, and I just don't know if I can on it.
In terms of the overall thesis on the market, same as last week. Expecting this level to reject, come up here. It did exactly, I mean, pretty much what I drew out, the level I marked out, and the circle to the wick, it's to the dollar. It's exactly playing out to a T. If we break up above this level, we can look at continuation. But most likely we stay below it, which means we go sideways until we have enough fuel in the tank to see a continuation. Pretty simple for the crypto update. Now, US dollar, we are looking to gain some strength in the US dollar. As you all know, we are expecting to move higher here. As US dollar moves higher, you can again use this as an inverse correlation to your indices. So as the US dollar moves up, because it's a risk haven, when people take their money out of stocks, they put them into dollars. So you want to watch this chart, and as you see this move higher, you most likely see the S&P 500 move lower.
And it's gone.
And so what I want to talk about, and very important update, particularly because of the timing of things, is the S&P 500. Now, we know the US dollar is going to be gaining some strength. If we look at the US dollar, this is where we're at. All right, so we did in fact break this level, which was for the first time since September, the 15th of September, 2025. We retested it again in October and then again in November. And for the first time, we are now breaking, or we did break that level, I should say, last Friday on the 16th. Now, this weekly chart, as you can see, we're basically still at the exact same price that we opened. Now, what happened? Let's actually break down what happened, because a lot of people just see candlesticks. Let's talk about what happened behind the candles. So we break the level. Again, this level is at 189 days, the same distribution, or I should say the same length of distribution as we saw previously, literally to the day, and from where we've been in this range here. Like we saw last time, when we broke that little distribution phase where the S&P 500 was rounding out, we broke this key level after 189 days of going sideways. Same thing here, S&P 500's rounding out. We've been going sideways for 189 days, and now we've broken that level. So as a trader, as an investor, we should be very alert. Now, the next thing I want to point out is what happened when we broke the level last time. As you can see, on day 189, in fact, for a whole week, we just basically stayed at the same price that we opened at, right? Would you all agree that looks very similar to the candle that we're seeing currently play out right now? All right, if you agree, you don't need to put a 1 in the chat, but basically what I'm trying to allude to is that the next following week, so we've got this week, the next following week is where we saw the major move. We saw a 16% correction in the S&P 500 with no form of relief rally. So if you're a trader, if you're an investor, if you've got funds at risk, this is something that you need to know. And the reason that it's even more important is because if we actually break down the price action, we know we broke through the level. We know we've regained it, right? So we're right now at a make or break phase. We either got to pump from here or we're going to dump. Now, what actually happened on the charts? If we go over to the S&P 500 and we go up to a 15-minute time frame, we know we were having normal, healthy market structure. We were in a downtrend from the top of the macro high. All right, if I remove everything off my screen, we've got basically normal market structure through here. Basic candles, lower highs, price phases, accumulation, bit of chop, whatever it might be. And then what stands out like dog's balls? Mr. Donald Trump. He made a tweet that injected trillions of dollars back into the markets. But if we look at this, what does this look like? Does that look like an organic candle? Does that look like it's a normal sort of price action that you'll see? Because I'm getting a lot of questions. I don't know what to do with the trend. Is the trend up? I mean, the PPP's up. We had a 3 to 4% move in one direction, and it broke past these previous lower highs. All right. So was that a market structure shift? Are we now moving higher? Well, is it healthy or is it manipulation? In my humble opinion, it appears to be more manipulation than it is healthy market structure. Therefore, in my humble opinion, when we look at the S&P 500, this candle that's now regained is nothing more as a result of that manipulation. So Trump and his buddies can probably get better fill prices and
screw the honor system.
Get out of their assets and their stocks. And what is potentially to come is a big correction, which if history repeats, it puts the S&P 500 at 5,500. Do we understand why we're at such a critical point in time and why something very big is right around the corner? Whether it's tonight, whether it's tomorrow night, whether it's next week, I need you to understand the charts. I need you to understand what's happening behind them and also have the context of it.